exclaimed, quote, "This time we haven't been deceived," unquote. Then he immediately composed 100 verses in praise of Ganga Devi. When Veerchandra Prabhu took his birth, Abhiram again came to offer his obeisances. And when he saw that Veerachandra was unaffected, he composed Sri Bir Bhadrakastam. Sri Abhiram Thakur has been widely known as a learned acharya and preacher. He has written verses and many other scriptures which still exist to date. He was strongly associated with Lord Krishna and had grown with them. There are many stories of him as a child and as he grew up next to others. Here in this article, we discuss some of his greatest stories because there are so many long history. He was also one of a few chosen ones to go to Bengal to talk and preach in Gauda days. Although his presence shook the atheists there, he also mysteriously disappeared on the seventh day of the month of Chaitra. So the story of Abhiram Das Thakur began when Lord Krishna and his friends were young. The magnificent story has been discussed in length in Krishna Lila. However, to understand the beginning, it is important to note that Sri Abhiram Das Thakur was also known as Abhiram Gopal and Ramadas. In Krishna Lila, he was mentioned as Gopa. The first instant is when he was young and had been playing with Lord Krishna, Balram, and other cowherd boys. While the boys played hide and seek, many hid in the cave. This is where Abhiram had hidden. However, soon Lord Krishna decided to go elsewhere. It was during this time that they forgot about Sridham. Abhiram was the elder brother of Srimati Radharani, and Radharani has the younger sister named Ananga Manjari. So Abhiram Das Thakur is not different than Sridham. When Lord Krishna realized that Sridham was missing, he sent Balram in the form of Nityananda. However, when Sridham refused to come out, Balram told him that he was in fact Balram. But this time around, Balram, who was tall, appeared smaller to Sridham. So he refused to believe him. Balram was challenged to catch Sridham if he tried to run at 10 paces. Sridham ran and Balram caught him. However, Sridham did not believe it, so he manifested another form himself as Ramadas and left with Balram. Sridham, however, stayed back as his feeling had been heard. So Gopal Guru Goswami was also tasted by Abhiram Thakur. We have heard very good thing about the Gopal Guru Goswami was the disciple of Vakreshwar Pandit, and that's the who installed the Radhakant deity at the Gambhira, and then the succession of the worship of the Radhakant was Gopal Guru Goswami, And we see the wonderful story that he was on the fire pyre, burning his body. And then his Dhyanachandra Goswami, his disciple, run down to him because the government wants to take over the possession of the temple, Radhakam temple, and which was entrusted to Dhyanachandra Goswami. So he came and begged that you need to come and resolve this situation before you leave this world. So it says that Gopal Guru Goswami again became alive and talked to this government, and the problem was solved. So those personality is amazing. So before Sri Abhiram Thakur tasted Gopal Guru Goswami, he has tasted many people. One such person was Raghunandan Thakur. You know Raghunandan Thakur, who used to read the Krishna's pastime to Narottam Das Thakur when he was very young. And from hearing this katha from Raghunandan Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur becomes so attracted to Krishna. So when Abhiram Thakur had gone to visit him, Mukunda Das told Sri Abhiram Thakur that he wasn't there. Mukund had known of Sri Abhiram Thakur's reputation, so he decided to make him go away. Disappointed, Abhiram Thakur left. However, when Raghunandan Thakur realized what had happened, he went to look for Abhiram Thakur. Catching up with him, he danced in ecstasy with Sri Abhiram Thakur. An interesting bit here is that Raghunandan's ankle bracelet, also called Nupur, fell off during dancing. And the Nupur to date is worshipped in the same place, which is called Bordanga. Similarly, Sri Abhiram Thakur tasted Gopal Guru Goswami. However, despite multiple tests, Gopal Guru Goswami emerged unscathed. Why and how did the land become famous as Ramakund? So the legend says that Ramakund was created after Abhiram Thakur excavated a piece of land. And this happened because Abhiram Thakur had a dream wherein he was visited by worthy of worship deity Sri Gopinathji. Sri Gopinathji told Abhiram Thakur that he was underneath the land and gave him directions in his dream. And Sri Gopinathji had told him to take him out and worship him. So when Abhiram Thakur woke up, he decided to find this piece of land. He followed the direction and began digging out the land. And just like he was told in his dreams, he found a form of Sri Gopinathji beneath the earth. The place where Sri Gopinathji was found is known as Ramakund. Sri Abhiram Thakur had a celebrated whip. Sri Abhiram Thakur had a worship-worthy whip, and it was known far and wide. His celebrated whip was called Jai Mangal. This whip was known for its powers. Legend has it that whoever was touched by the whip would become enamored with feelings of love. The form of pure love that this whip would evoke was similar to that Lord Krishna felt. The whip is mentioned alongside Abhiram Thakur's reference as well. One day, Abhiram Thakur had been whipping a boy, and Srinivas Acharya came to his rescue, saying that Thakur should not be beating a marriage shawl with the whip, as he would not be able to handle the strong emotion of love afterward. So the conclusion is there are many stories of Abhiram Thakur as devotees still celebrate and worship him. He was a learned scholar and was known to be a favorite of Nityanand Prabhu. He was one of the few who were chosen to go and spread the word around in Bengal. However, at one point, Sri Abhiram Thakur mysteriously disappeared on this 7th day of month of Chaitra. And the descendants of the disciple can still be found in district of Hooghly and Bankura and also the other places. There is a long history of Abhiram Thakur. We will dwell some more. Sri Radha Gopinath was the deities of Abhiram Thakur, and Srila Prabhupada explained the glories of Abhiram Das Thakur as follows. Sri Ramadas Ara Gadadhara Das Chaitanya Goshanira Bhakta Rahe Tandrapas. Two devotees of Lord Chaitanya, named Sri Ramadas and Gadadhar Das, always lived with Sri Virbhadra Goswami. Purport. Sri Ramdas, later known as Abhiram Thakur, was one of the 12 Gopas, cowherd boyfriend of Sri Nityanand Prabhu. The Gaura Ganodesh Deepika verse 126 state that Sri Ramdas was formerly Sridham. In Bhakti Ratnakar 4th wave, there is a description of Srila Abhiram Thakur. By the order of Sri Nityanand Prabhu, Abhiram Thakur became a great Acharya and preacher of the Chaitanya cult of devotional service. He was very afraid. He was very influential personality, and non-devotees were very afraid of him. Empowered by Sri Nityanand Prabhu, he was always in ecstasy and was extremely kind to all fallen souls. So we beg the mercy at his lotus feet because he is so kind. It is said that if he offered obeisances to any stone other than the Saligram Stila, it would immediately fracture. 10 miles southwest of the Channadanga railway station on the narrow gauge railway line from Howrah in Calcutta to Amta, a village in the Hooghly district, is a small town named Kanakulu, Krishnanagar, where the temple of Abhiram Thakur is situated. And it says during the rainy season, when this area is inundated with water, people must go there by another line, which is now called the Southeastern Railway. On this line, there is a station named Kolaghat, Rome, which one has to go by steamer to Ranchi Chaka. 7.5 miles north of Ranchi Chaka is Khanukula. The temple of Abhiram Thakur is situated in Krishnanagar, which is near the Kula bank of Khana. Therefore, this place is celebrated as Khanakula, Krishnanagar. Outside of the temple is a bakul tree, This place is also known as Siddha Bakul Kunj. It is said that when Abhiram Thakur came here, he sat down under this tree. In Khanakula, Krishnanagar, there is a big fair held every year in the month of Chaitra, March and April, on the Krishna Saptami, the 7th day of the dark moon. Many hundreds and thousands of people gather for this festival. The temple of Abhiram Thakur has a very old history. The deity in the temple is known as Gopinath, and there are many Sabit family living near the temple. It is said that Abhiram Thakur had a whip, and that whoever he touched with it would immediately become an elevated devotee of Krishna. Hope that he can whip all of us. Among his many disciples, Sriman Srinivas Acharya was the most famous and the most dear, but it is doubtful that he was his initiated disciple. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, 1975 edition, Adilila, chapter 11, where it explains the expansion of Lord Nityananda. Text 116. Ramadas Abhirama Shakhya Premar Rasi Solangera Kasta Tuliye Kariya Vansi. Ramdas Abhiram was fully absorbed in the mellow of friendship. He made a flute of a bamboo stick with 16 knots. Purport. Abhiram was an inhabitant of Khanakul, Krishnanagar, Chaitanya Charitamrita, 1975 edition, Adilila 10. The trunk, branches and sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila 10, 116. Pura Shridam Namashit Abhiramo Dhunamahan Dvitrim Masta Janer Eva Vahyam Kastam Yuvaha Saha. He who was previously known as Sridam is today Abhiram Thakur. He picked up a piece of wood that it took 32 men to lift. Gauda Ganedesh Deepika 126. Also his name is Abhiram Gopal Thakur. So Balimat in Puri was established by Abhiram Thakur. In Bhakti Ratnakar, the following statements is also made. O Srinivas, the disciple of Abhiram Thakur, how much more can I say? Abhiram descended into this world in order to deliver it. Taking birth in a Brahmin family, he became a scholar in all the scripture and was an unequal musician, not only in song and playing musical instrument, but in dance also. He married at Nityananda Balram's request. His wife Malini is also indescribably powerful. So he who was previously known as Sridam is Abhiram Thakur. According to Gaur Ganodesh Deepika 12 in Krishna Lila, he was Sridam, one of the 12 prominent boy cowherd friends of Sri Krishna. In Krishna Lila, he is Sridam, his worshipable deity is Sri Gopinathji. His wife name is Malini Devi, and he is also called Abhiram Gopal Ramdas. Bhiram Das Abhiram Thakur was one of the most vigorous preachers among the associates of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. In a mood of a cowherd boy, Sri Abhiram Thakur carried a bamboo flute and bullwhip named Jai Mangal. Whomever he struck with this whip become filled with Krishna Prem. You know, on the disciplic succession, I always mention Purushottam Das Thakur, Abhiram Das Thakur, Parmeshwar Das Thakur. So this is Abhiram Das Thakur. If Abhiram Thakur offer obeisances to any stone other than the sacred Saligram Sila, it would at once burst into pieces. Abhiram Thakur used his home for preaching and for serving Vaishnava pilgrims. His house constantly resounded with kirtan and topics of Krishna, and he was the favorite of Nityanand Prabhu. Hari Bol. One day, Krishna, Balram and the cowherd friends were playing a game of hide and seek. We got that. This one was, we already recited. Let me see where that, we already read that. We read that. The following story adapted from the book Abhiram Lilamrita appeared in issue number 4 of Sri Krishna Kathamrita Bindu, the free fortnightly email magazine from ISKCON, Gopaljiu publication. Abhiram Thakur is perhaps the most prominent follower of Lord Nityanand Prabhu, and according to Srila Kavi Karnapur, Abhiram Thakur is the incarnation of Sri Dam Sakha, the chief cowherd boys in Krishna Lila. His pastimes were described in a simple Bengali verse by his disciple Sri Tilak Ramdas in a book called Sri Abhiram Lilamrita. In the 4th chapter, the author reveals how he was able to write. Utha Utha Ore Sisya Sunha Vachane Amara Yat Ke Ka Lila Karaha Varnana Eta Bali Mora Sathe Charan Dharila Charan Parashe Leela Swarana Haila. My Guru Abhiram Thakur came to me while I was resting and said, wake up, O disciple. Hear my words. I want you to write about my pastimes. I touched my head to my Guru's lotus feet, and at that time, all his pastimes appeared to me. Text 5, 6 to 13. The following story adapted from chapter 15, verse 141 through 246, describe how Abhiram Thakur tasted the newborn sons of Lord Nityananda. We heard that. Then there is a story about taking the prasad at Nitai's home. When they came together, Abhiram embraced all of them with ecstatic love, while his hair stood on end. Nitai brought Abhiram into his home. Abhiram told him, I'm very hungry. Please give me some prasad. So Nitai gave him a seat in a room, and Vasudha and Janua happily brought him a nice prasad consisting of sweet rice, fancy rice, and many other opulent dishes. As much prasad as they brought, Abhiram ate it until he had finished everything in the house. Seeing that he had eaten everything, Nitai said, Dandavat to your pastimes. Who can understand you? In Brajalila, you are Sridham. Have you forgotten our loving relationship? In Braj, we all share prasad together. But now, forgetting all of that, you are taking all of the prasad alone. In Braj, we would always share whatever fruits we got. What sort of behavior is this? They are taking all of the prasad alone. So Abhiram quietly listened and then he responded, my nature is that of a cowherd boy. First I take, then I give to others. My behavior is that of the Braj. Knowing my nature and activities in Braj, how can you say I took all of the prasad? Go and see your pots. So then Abhiram performed Achman. And Nityanand Prabhu went to see the pots and found that double the original amount of prasad was there. And Nitai then happily embraced Abhiram. Then Abhiram told Balramji, Nityanand Prabhu, oh brother, you should feed all of the Mahants. The Mahants then happily took prasad and shouted, Hari Hari. Finishing, they all performed Achman. Then Nitai gave them tambula and a place to take rest. So Abhiram Das Thakur said, Nitai, you have celebrated a festival of the birth of your son. What sort of son do you have? Please bring him and I will offer my obeisances to him. So Veerbhadra Prabhu, son of Lord Nityananda, hearing this, everyone become worried. Because if they are not devotees, they cannot survive in front of Abhiram. Haribol. Nityanand Prabhu's wife, Vasudha and Janva, approached Abhiram and humbly said, this time, please give protection to our child. Don't let us be criticized for not having a son. If you offer obeisances to our son, then he will die. Every time this is what has happened. If you do this again, then we will also die. So at that time, Abhiram responded, why are you fearing? You don't understand. I'm offering my obeisances to taste the child. If he is Swayam Swarup, the Lord's personal manifestation, then he will survive my obeisances. Don't worry. Hearing Abhiram's words, Nityanand Prabhu became happy and brought his son before Abhiram. And Abhiram Thakur offered his obeisances and the child laughed. Abhiram became very happy and offered his obeisances a second and a third time just to taste the child. He saw that this child was Jagat Priya, dear to the entire universe. Abhiram took the child on his lap and began to dance. He then told all of the Mahants there, Yena dekhecha gora dekha, ar bar punar bar shai gora vira utar. So that those who did not see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could again have the opportunity to see him. The Lord has reappeared in the form of Veerbhadra Prabhu. The identity of Veerbhadra Prabhu, Lord Balram, has appeared as Lord Nityanand Prabhu. As the Supreme Lord, he is Sarvagya, all-knowing. Hence, he certainly understood and in fact inspired the behavior of Abhiram Thakur. The nature of the Lord is that he likes to see his devotees glorified more than himself. Therefore, to glorify his devotees, Abhiram Thakur and also his son, Veerbhadra Prabhu, Lord Nityanand inspired Abhiram Thakur to act in such an unusual way. The expansion of Lord Sankarshan, known as Sirodakshai Vishnu, appeared in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime as Veer Chandra Prabhu. So Lord Veer Chandra was non-different from Lord Chaitanya himself. Veerbhadra Prabhu is the incarnation of Sirodakshai Vishnu. Srila Kavi Karnapur has written in Gauraganoda's Deepika text 67, Shankar Sanasya yo yuha payo visai namaka sa eva virachandro bhuj chaitanya bhinna vigraha. The expansion of Lord Sankarshan, known as Sirodakshai Vishnu, appeared in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime as Veerchandra Prabhu. Lord Veerchandra was non-different from Lord Chaitanya himself as Sirodakshai Vishnu. And Veerbhadra Prabhu is the Swayam Swarup, the plenary expansion of Lord Nityanand Prabhu. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Das Thakur has described Shankar Sanah Karana Toya Sai Garbhoda Sai Cha Payobdhi Sai Sesascha Yasyam Sa Kalahsa Nitya Nanakya Nama Ramaha Sharanam Mamastu. May Sri Nityanand Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarsan, Sesanag, and Vishnus who lie on the Karana ocean, Karana Daksai Vishnu, Garbha ocean, Garbha Daksai Vishnu, and ocean of milk, Siro Daksai Vishnu, are his plenary portion and the portion of his plenary. Haribol. So I think we can end this glorification. I think sorry that I run about 8 minutes late. With those thoughts, let's pray that he can put the whips on all of us so we can get the unlimited love of Krishna in our mind and heart. So knowing this wonderful personality, knowing them more in deeper and deeper way is the way to purify our consciousness. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of those wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavi who take austerities every morning to join from Connecticut, New Hampshire, Aurora, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Cottondale, Virginia, Boston, Boise, Atlanta, Phoenix, Tempe, Austin, College Station, San Jose, Portland. Not from Portland today's Sarvasakti Mataji didn't join today. Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, Naperville, Philadelphia, Charlotte. But Jai Satchidanand Prabhu joined anyway, Haribol. So Portland was present, Haribol. Charlotte, Baltimore, Baton Rouge, Alachua, Orlando, Jacksonville, Ohio, St. Louis, Loganville, Georgia, San Diego, Alaska, Maine, Ottawa, New Orleans, Laguna Beach, Vancouver, Toronto, Kolkata, New Delhi, Bangladesh, and Houston and Fresno. So devotees who has to leave, they can leave, and the devotees who would like to continue and chant for another extra hour, welcome to do so. I have a nature's call, so I will be back in 6-7 minutes. So please continue chanting. Thank you.